find out the latest news surrounding another new signing made this January. We have some more Ousmane Dembele links, find out which club is desperate for Marcos Alonso, and we turn our attention to AJAX as we are showing strong interest in their talented holding mids. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Before I get into things, I've got one big plug to get out of the way first. Today's video is brought to you by SPITCH, a live manager fantasy app which allows you to fulfill your managerial fantasies, you guys. Test your skills out against other users, your friends, and communities of yourself. Play for free or enter lobbies to compete to win up to a share of 70k per week. Who doesn't want to have fun and then try and profit off their managerial skills? So you guys, of course, it's very simple to use SPITCH. Of course, pick and choose the league you want to participate in. For me, it has to be the Premier League. Once you do that, pick your lineup. Now, if you're serious about competing here, of course, then you have to use SPITCH's analytical page to check the stats of players, where you can learn exactly the type of points you can earn depending on specific stats, ranging from things like goals, assists, goal shots, passing stats, etc, etc, for you real savvy competitors. I'm sure you can even build specific lineups depending on specific stats you want to profit from every single week. Once you've done that, confirm your captain, join, and of course, if you have not registered, it is very easy to do so. Once you've done that, all you have to do finally is just confirm you're 18 plus. Get your ID verified, then you are free to participate to hopefully win some money, you guys. So of course, for me, I need to put some of my own money in to just try and compete and take it to the next level. Like I said, I really want to see how much I really know. It's a good opportunity for me to test that, and I hope you guys enjoy. Of course, you find a link below to SPITCH in the description below. You have to be 18 plus to participate. Hope you guys enjoy. And getting back to the video, now let's start with things and let's discuss another signing made in this window, and yet again it is another highly rated young player that's been bought. His name goes by Dylan Williams. He does come from Derby County, and with Derby currently facing administration, I guess it makes sense for us to take advantage of their woes and look to sign their best and brightest talents. Now, he is 18 years old, he does play as a left back and a left wing back, and already he has made 8 first team appearances with Derby whilst being a big regular for the under 23 team. So, you know, he's a young player that's had a bit of a reputation in this country. He came from the Wolves Academy, and throughout his young career he has been playing above his age groups for many a season. So he does sound like one of them typical Cobham players, and you might be wondering, okay, so have we signed him now to play in our first team and act as backup to Marcos Alonso? Now, that's not quite the case at this point in time. Who knows what could happen though? Let's say Tuchel potentially could find him of interest and look to use him in the first team. I doubt that though, with me hearing that, of course, under 23s have been looking to reinforce the squad for a while now, and he would provide great backup for Lewis Hall. It would actually allow Lewis Hall to play back in midfield, as Hall has been playing as a left wing back throughout the season. So, you know, we are looking to reinvest back into the academy. We are currently scouring the lower leagues now to find some really exciting talent. And one other signing we're very close to capturing too, he comes from Brighton's academy. His name goes by Toby Coyler. He is like a defensive midfield player. That deal is about to get wrapped up and that should be announced pretty soon as well too. So it's nice to know that, you know, as we look to supplement the first team, we are still continuing to just, you know, boost Cobham, you know, find other talented players to use as well too. And these guys should take some confidence. Of course, look at someone like Patrick Bamford. You know, we signed him quite late from Nottingham Forest, and look at his career now. Prem proven striker, underrated in my opinion, and another example of the type of career path we can have if you sign for us. So of course, good luck to Dylan Williams. Let's hope he does well for the development squad, and let's see if he can find himself in that pre-season team during the summer. So now you guys move on to the next story, and let's discuss the latest news surrounding Ousmane Dembele. Now we do know that Barcelona want to sell him before this window ends. They need to earn some money off a player that cost them over 100 million when they signed him all those seasons back. So they can't allow him to be leaving on a free at the end, getting nothing for that. And if by now Dembele can't reach an agreement with them, I guess it makes sense to accept the L, take the loss, and look to make the bare minimum profit from the player. Now let's get on to the new reports today, and they're suggesting that we prefer to make a loan bid for Dembele in this window. I find that very interesting. Of course, could Barcelona even agree to something like that? I'm not too sure about that, but I could imagine that even being able to get Dembele off the wage bill for a few months until the season does end, I mean, that's guaranteed to save you a few million just by itself, on top of potentially a big loan fee signed as well too. I guess with us, it gives us an opportunity to see how he does with the team, get a better understanding behind his fitness. You'd imagine that if he was signed on loan, hypothetically, the amount of time our medical department would have with him would give us a better indication in regards to whether he is worth signing and whether his fitness issues are something that can be controlled and can be helped with. I think if the deal works out like this in our favour, I don't think I would say no to something like this. I mean, I would take a punt on DembELE on loan for a few months just to see how he does, how he acclimatizes, and to see how Tuchel uses him as well too. You know, if anything, he'd have a bigger advantage at making his move a permanent come the end of the season. We know that he has big respect for Thomas Tuchel. We know that Tuchel was able to really get the best out of him as well too. And I guess, like, when I see the story, maybe next season we are looking to transition away to having more wingers in the team over having number 10s. I think that would be the best thing in my opinion. I wouldn't mind seeing players like Mason Mount and Havertz dropping deep to being like box-to-box midfield players if we had like wingers either side that have the ability to get at their man and, you know, do something with space made available for them. Let's see what happens with that. I have to ask you guys in the comment section as well too. It feels like this could be the common sense thing to do if you have any plans on signing DembELE. At least this gives us the opportunity to manage the risk, get an assessment on his fitness report as well too before confirming whether, okay, cool, let's sign this guy outright once his contract ends. So right now, you guys, move on to the next story. And now we go to AJAX, as a report from Footballer Insider states that us, Palace and Leicester City are showing interest in Mexican international Edson Alvarez. Now, Edson Alvarez is a player who's really shown to be one of the most promising DMs in Europe at this point in time. Another player from Ajax who's having an outstanding season there. I don't know how this club keep doing it, but when I look at Ajax, I see the players they have. You know, Anthony, Gravenberch, you know, Martinez, Timber as well too. Yeah, I wouldn't even be opposed to doing like a bit of a Dutch raids because they got some serious talent at that club. And Edson Alvarez is another guy on that list. He ranks very high when it comes to duels, clearances, recoveries, and pressures won in the Eredivisie. And I know that sometimes we hear about Eredivisie clubs and, you know, the nature of that league is weaker, but his form does translate into Champions League football, where he also is a star player for Ajax as well. And I find it interesting that, yet again, more reports surrounding DMs for next season. And is this giving us maybe further proof that we could be seeing a formation change for next season with your Gallagher's coming back and a DM coming in to help the team too? I do hope that is the case. I feel like if you have like Lukaku plus other attacking players, they'd really benefit more from being able to play in their best roles. And I think it would work out being cheaper, just maybe signing those 1-2 extra players you need in midfield to help us like fully transition into like a new style of playing. Edson Alvarez is a great player. You know, he's constantly scanning for the ball and he constantly like roams to find spaces to receive in, which is very helpful and useful when it comes to like starting that first phase of your passing game, you know, playing through the press and of course kickstarting the moves. Defensively, he is very intelligent. He knows when to just like maintain his position. He's not just like a magnet towards the ball. He knows when to pick and choose when his duels are needed for the team. And when to just like hold his position, of course, and cover any like passing angles or zones or gaps that's left open. When you look at how he receives too, the body orientation is always positive. It means that he's just receiving on the half turn very quickly, which speeds up the play as well, which allows you to just play through presses with more precision and faster as well too. And it's just like constantly helps you just like keep that tempo and pace of the game going and going and going. You know, he's physical, he's strong, he's tall as well too, and he moves up ball very quickly, 1 touch, 2 touch. For me, that's the most important skill that a top 4 midfield player has to have. The interesting thing about a player in his profile is that when you have a DM like him, like Rice, like Tchouaméni and others, it means that it allows them to sit in front of the defense, which allows the fullbacks to push forward knowing that they have the confidence knowing their guy in DM will help cover them positions. So let's see what happens with these reports, you guys. I'm excited that more DMs are being linked. And to end with the final story, Master report that Diego Simeone's dream option to sign next summer is Marcos Alonso at left wing back. You know, Atleti now are using a wing back system themselves, and it's reported that before they signed Renan Lodi, they made attempts to sign Marcos Alonso, who at the time turned them down as he was happy to remain. You'd imagine that this would be maybe Marcos Alonso's final season. He has been a good servant for us. I do think he has his limitations though, but you know, his bonuses, the best parts of his game, they have come through clutch for us a few times. I'm not really surprised that Alessi would want someone like him. He's strong, he's got like a good aerial presence as well too. I think he's deceptively techie, like in tight situations and areas, Marcos Alonso can handle himself as well too. But I think when you look at maybe like his other weaknesses, I feel like these are weaknesses that can sometimes bite us in the ass more than his actual positives at times. I feel like this team just needs pace in those areas. The fact that he doesn't really have that pace and recovery pace, especially for me, it puts him at a big disadvantage. I think the fact too that when he comes against very like tricky fast wingers who isolate him 1v1, he loses that race in every way. You know, he can't keep up with them. His acceleration is too slow. And of course, the tackling sometimes can be a bit iffy, and he can just be like a foul magnet at times too. And I'd say too, the crossing, I feel like maybe some of the final third play, if he's not like making those late arrivals inside the books, it can be a bit iffy at times too. But of course, we can't detract from his excellent shooting technique, his ability to find great spaces inside the books too. But I just think with some of the like attacking options we have now, giving them just like proper like fullback, wingback support is best, to allow those attacking players to be the ones actually inside the books. I know that Lodi, I'd be curious if Atleti even considered possibly doing like a Lodi-Alonso swap. I feel like maybe a Lodi in our system could do maybe a bit more. He's sort of like a first choice left wing back option for Atletico Madrid at this point in time. He's still got great potential, he's still young, but as you're seeing again under Simeone, you know, like more young players kind of stagnating a bit already. If Atleti fully want to embrace having wingbacks, now that Carrasco is like the first team left wingback, adding Marcos Alonso to their squad makes sense. And if they want to let Lodi go, I'd be happy to take him as a replacement, to be honest, you guys. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm the EFC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.